Today I am cleaning the cage that the death layer chickens are in, and I just want to kind of give you an update on how they're doing and what they look like. So right now they are still staying inside the house. We're in the middle of January. It's 38 degrees right now, but the sun is out, so it's kind of, and the wind's not really blowing, so it feels kind of warm. But I wanted to show you what they look like. So what I'm going to do is put them in this cage and then go get their other cage out and clean it out and put them back in there. Hopefully you can see this. I don't have the camera face this way, so I can't tell. This is the one I'm hoping is a hen. She's getting pretty upset. She's never been outside. This is the first time they're going outside. Okay, Greg is taking Tucker to the goats, but he doesn't go out to the goats until we're home on the weekends, and our weekends are what?
Friday through Sunday.
So we get 3-day weekends except the beginning of the month if Friday falls on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. So today's not one of them days. Today is Friday the 13th. So Tuck out with the goats. So you can go ahead and take him out with the goats, and that gives is that on?
Yeah.
That gives Dandy and Caleb time to go out back.
Patrick.
Since the vet said that they can have some more outside time since they're getting better. He likes being with me. He loves me. So what we're doing, I know it's kind of weird, but we put a cage inside that. A cage like this, a little bit smaller, inside this with shavings, like cedar shavings, or I don't know what it is, bedding. And these kind of cages, we do it without. Here's actually the bottom to the cage that we do theirs with. We don't put the bottom in. No, that's smaller than the cage we use. I don't know, but we don't put the bottom in it. We let it set in that with the shavings in it, and then we just clean out the shavings, and then they have a perch and a board. Oh, I'm cleaning the board. A board to stand on so that they can, that's pretty nasty. So I've got to clean that off. They stand on that when they eat and drink, and then they have a perch. That the female uses the perch, but the male, or what I think is the female and male, right? Where are you going so fast?
Back inside.
What are you gonna do?
Play video games.
Anyway, like I was saying, the hen, what I think is the hen, uses the perch, but the boy doesn't. The rooster doesn't. He is definitely a rooster. He crows inside the house. He's at the back of the house, but dang, he crows. But now we're gonna start putting them in the garage and getting them used to that little bit colder weather. We heat with fire, so these days that have been kind of warm outside and not below freezing, we haven't been starting a fire. So in the house it's really kind of chilly. So they're not, I mean, this isn't a total shock to them. It's not like we've been sitting in there with, the heat on high or something, and then coming out to 38 degrees. It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly in there. And in the summers, I mean, just along on that topic, in the summers, it's a little warmer in our house than it is in most houses. By choice. The only thing about this one that I'm thinking is a hen, the only problem I'm having with her, wondering about the gender, or however you would say it with chickens, is her neck feathers. They look very similar to his, and so the first thing I notice on roosters is the neck feathers. I don't know if that's what you call it, but the red on the back of on the head and down the neck, it looks kind of pointy like his, but they're not full grown yet. So I mean, there's there's plenty of time for that to change. And then again, with this breed, it might not change. He is bigger than her. They are the same age. He's got more of a red on his comb and wattles, and the other one does not. Hers is white. I keep calling him he and she and him and her because that's what we're hoping for, and that's kind of what it's looking like right now. But the only thing that I'm concerned about is the feathers on her neck. Okay, just to be clear on something, you saw Greg come out the front door with Tucker. And it's not because Tucker's staying in the house. He actually stays in the backyard. But he just brought him, I don't know if you can see, he just brought him through the house to take him back here to the goats. Our fence on the backyard to the backyard is kind of, or not the fence, but the gate is jacked. So we have tires sitting up there to hold the gate shut. So if you watched the last video, I showed where we were putting dirt from across the street into the backyard because Tucker was digging a lot of holes, and I thought it was just, it's just his breed, because they do dig a lot. Pyrenees dig a lot. He's half Pyrenees and half Anatolian Shepherd. So, and then we were just trying to bring the levels up by the house so that the water would flow away from the house. I think I just found out why he's digging. He put a big hole in the backyard. I don't know if you can see it, but he put that big hole in the backyard, and then we have this going on outside of the yard. So we have something, a mole, I don't know, something underground digging. You can see coming this way. So it might be that he's just trying to catch something. So here is the backyard. She can't get along with anybody. Nobody. It doesn't matter, does it? That's Greg's dog. So she's back here by herself. Dandy's getting to spend some time outside, but it is separated. These two sections of the yard separated by cattle panels. Don't know if you can see that. And then back here's the gate. And Tucker. Are you a good boy? Yeah, he's a good boy. The reason he's not out with the goats all the time, if you're new to the channel, we did get a lot of new subscribers. So the reason that Tucker is not out with the goats all the time like he should be is because he is 11 months old. So I don't trust him to stay with the goats when I'm not home to watch him. And there's our does eating. Well, some of them are taking a nap. That's our mini La Mancha. That's River. Oh, duck. I'm telling a story here. I'm telling a story. He's a good dog. He's a good dog. Before I end this video out, which is not right now, but before I do, I want to candle the 3 duck eggs that I have in the incubator. I have 3 Cayuga duck eggs in the incubator, or at least that's what I hope I have. That's what I bought them as. But I want to candle them on camera just to see how they're doing. I think they have like 12 or 13 days left of hatching. I do have a small cage ordered for those death layers. Like, yeah, a cage, playpen, I don't know what you would call it. It's bigger than the one they're in by probably 3 times as big as the one that they're in. And I will start trying to transition them outside. If not outside, and it's still gonna depend on the weather a lot. And it's gonna depend on the weather a lot, but if not outside, then definitely into the garage instead of inside the house. But so that means that I'll have a brooder for the ducks when they hatch. So it's supposed to get here on like the 22nd or 23rd, and so that'll be just about the right timing. Since the does are bred, or they're supposed to be bred, I'm gonna take you out to them, look at them. Let's see how they're doing. Let's see if they're showing any. They are due the end of March, the beginning of April, middle of April, something like that. I don't know. I'd have to count it up, and have to really think. Maybe I'll think of it before, maybe I'll think of when I put the bucks with them before I end this video. But right now, yeah, I can't. There's no way I can't think of how when I put the bucks with them. This is River, and in the last video, we actually had River's sister here. Looks just like her, except she didn't have the spot on the back. She was a little bit lighter, and she sounded different. They made different noises. But I mean, other than that, they looked exactly alike. Same markings on the face and everything. River's a mini La Mancha, and she was bred with a Nigerian dwarf. And mini La Mancha is a La Mancha and a Nigerian dwarf mix. So she's half Nigerian, half La Mancha, and she was just bred with a Nigerian dwarf buck. So it'll be really interesting to see what she has. I bet you that they have the big ears, the Nigerian ears, but it would be so cool if they came out with a La Mancha ears. What do you think? What do you think, Tucker? And so we got River and Tucker at the same time, and River was a bottle baby. Tucker was a puppy, and Caleb wouldn't let Tucker out here. So Tucker and River spent a lot of time together, even in the same kennel together or cage together a lot. So they're buddies. And unfortunately, Tucker still wants to play with River, and that's one reason why I've got to keep an eye on him. Yeah, he knows. Anyway, so I can't really tell that River's showing at all. Yeah, you really can't tell with the camera. You better get away from her. Now see Pebbles. That one right there's Pebbles. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Pebbles is showing. She's either showing or she's getting really fat. But to me, it looks like she's pregnant. And then that other one, Rain's little doeling. Well, she's not so little anymore. Excuse me. Do you see? Things didn't go as planned, and now it's going to take more time to get him where he needs to be, taking care of the goats. Okay, I think Rain's doeling is got a lot of hair. I really can't tell that she's been bred, but look at Rain. You can tell from here. Rain looks bred. Car going by. That gives me a minute to talk to you guys without Tucker. He's got to go get the car. But to me, guys, does that look bred to you? And that's not just fat. That's bred. Well, he's back. That didn't last long. Is that a car? What is that? I don't think it is. I think it's on some other property, maybe machinery on another property that's making that noise. So last year, Rain had 4 babies, and one of them died. So I was setting my alarm for every hour that night. About 6 o'clock in the morning, I checked at 5 o'clock, came outside, flashlight, jacket, all that. Came outside, nothing. 6 o'clock, I came out and she had 4 babies. And actually, I think she was still giving birth. There's a video, we did a video of it, and I'll leave a link up here. When she went into labor, she was like, when she lost her ligaments, when her ligaments softened up and we knew she was about to kid, we were out with her all day, and then when it got dark, we set an alarm and came out every hour to check on her. 6 o'clock that morning, I came out and she had already had a one that didn't make it on the ground. And I think maybe she had another one, but I might have caught 2 or 3 of them on camera. I don't remember. But like I said, I'll leave a link for you to go check that out. And I guess I need to go check it out so I can remember what story I'm telling. I had to go look. I couldn't, not at the video. I had to go look at when I put the bucks with the does because I couldn't stand not knowing anymore. So I put the does, the bucks with the does, or the does with the bucks, on October the 30th. So November, December, January, February, March. So the end of March or sometime in April, because I don't know exactly when they bred. I did see 2 of them. The bucks get to 2 of them, and I wrote down those dates, and I don't remember which 2. I'll have to look at the dates, but that doesn't mean that it took. I mean, that, you know, it could have been later that day, the next day, or a few days later. So I don't know exactly when, but it's going to be right around probably in April that they're due. Girlfriend, you look fat. Can't have a conversation with the goats, can I? I just can't have a little bit of privacy. Just a little bit of privacy. Yeah, she's gonna have a bunch. So this is one father. This is gonna be one of the bucks. And here comes the other one. That's Rocky and Chase. Man, he's pretty. They both are good looking goats. I'm excited to see what they produce. Okay, on the tom turkey. On the tom turkey, we haven't decided on a name, but we are going to pick one today. Greg is playing video games while I'm watching where I step, because the cows have been up here. But he's playing video games. I'm gonna let him play the video games, and then I made a list of all the suggestions that you guys left on the comments, and we're gonna either choose one of those or make one up. No, seriously, I think we're gonna try to pick some form of one of the suggestions that you guys left in the comments. But I want Greg involved. I don't want to just make a decision. And if you saw in that video, Cassie came out and she picked up a blue slate hen, and in that process we found out that a couple of the blue slate hens has a little bit of a beard growing. So let me see if I can show you. Okay, I don't know if you can see the beard on him. The black, come here buddy, that right there, yeah, that was a good picture. When Greg picked up a couple of the blue slate hens and was filling of them, we found out that a couple of them had that beard growing. Now it's smaller than his, they're all the same size, they haven't acted like toms, but I know that I have had, as a matter of fact, I have a rooster right now that doesn't crow. Because he's not the dominant rooster. There's another dominant rooster in with him, so he never crows. But I'm 100% sure it's a rooster, and he doesn't crow. And I've had that happen before. And we've also had that happen with ducks. If we have a dominant drake, the other drakes won't even grow the little, drake feather. You know, the males they have one feather that kind of folds, not folds, but curls, and that's where you can spot the drake. We have had them to where they won't even grow that until the dominant male is out of the pen, or no longer here at all. So I am going to try to figure out a way, and I don't know where, because I don't have anything else that's completely covered like this, and they fly, and we have a whole lot of predators out here. That's why we built that, because we have a lot of predators and we lost a lot of birds last year. So, but I'm thinking maybe moving him out and see if another one steps up to bat, I guess you could say. I know hens can grow beards, but these are all the same age. They've not acted like a tom at all. But only 2 of the blue slates have the beard at all. The other 2 do not. I don't know why. So if I have a chance to separate them, I'm going to separate them and kind of do a little bit of an experiment to see if maybe one of them is a tom. personally, I think they're hens, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, I don't know a lot about turkeys. I know that he is very pretty. That's all I know. And I know he's a he. And he knows he's a he. And that's about it. The temperature hasn't dropped. It's probably even gotten a little bit warmer, but the wind has picked up. These birds aren't used to being out here, so I'm gonna go dry their cage up, their stuff, and put it all back together, put them back inside, because this is their first time to have been outside. They've never been outside before, so they're not used to this wind. Okay, they're inside now and back in the laundry room where there is no washer and dryer, because we haven't finished out the house or had it done yet. That is coming soon. Matter of fact, next Friday we have someone coming to measure for cabinets in the kitchen. But the focus of the story here is the death layer chicks. This is how we're keeping them. So this cage is actually sitting off the ground a little bit, and so when they poop, it drops down into the shavings. But obviously they can step in it, but they don't have to. So she's up on the board, and he's, I don't know, messing around with clean shavings. I guess it's fun. I don't know. And then they have the perch. Okay, now it's Caleb's turn to come outside for a little bit. If you haven't been following the channel long and didn't watch the last video, Caleb, this one right here, and Dandy, the red one that I had out here earlier. Golly, Tara! One that I had out here earlier were being treated for heartworms. And they have had 3 treatments. And it has been, this Friday makes 2 months, and I don't know, I don't know where we are on it. They did 1 treatment, and then they, a month later, did a second treatment, and now we are 5 weeks out after the second treatment, so about another week before they can come back outside and hang out and play. So they've been staying inside. The vet said that they have to be really still after the heartworm treatments, or as they're passing the heartworms, it could actually kill them. So they've got, yeah, I know, they've got about another week, and then they can start coming outside and staying all day. I think a week. I need to look at dates and count that up and make sure I'm right on that. But Caleb, his job is out there with the girl goats, but I'm trying to train Tucker with the girls. So on the weekends, Tucker will be out with the girls, and I don't know where he is. Oh, he's over here. He's over here laying down by the water. So Tucker will be out with the girls where I can see him from, I'm standing at the back door so I can see him. And the bucks are around the corner, around that corner of the shop, or yeah, I guess it's a shop. And that's where Caleb will stay, because I can trust him a little bit more, or a lot more, with the goats than I can Tucker. Isn't that right? Yeah, he's always been with the goats. Although, being inside these last couple of months, you never know. Okay, look who I found.
What?
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 Let's go. We're gonna, where are you? We're gonna name the turkey. I'm gonna go over some of the names. Well, I'm gonna go over all the names that I could find in the comments. You guys placed them comments all over the place, and so I had to go find them.
They probably went this video, this video, this video, this video.
So I found as many as I could, and you know, if I left one out, I am sorry. I did go look at the latest comments, and hopefully I get everybody's suggestion in, and we're gonna make a decision right now. Got my little handy dandy notebook out, and I made a list of the names that you guys suggested. So here we go. Yeah, hang on. We have Chief White Feather, Prideful, King Horbolito Tuxedo. Now listen to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people suggested either tux or tuxedo. 5 people suggested either Hank, Hanks, Tom, or Tom Hanks. There was also a Tom Snow, a Tom, Tommy Fantail, and I think we're out of the Toms. There was a Humphrey, a Blizzard. 4 people suggested George. 1, and this is my personal favorite, suggested Sir. I didn't write it down, but there were a few that suggested either Ben or Benjamin or Benny. Lancelot, there were 2 suggestions for Lancelot. There was the same person suggested Stripe or Mr. Borders. There were 4 or 5 suggestions for either Percy or Percival. 4 suggestions for Abe or Abraham. Aubrey, Butterball, Whitey. There was actually 2 Whiteys. 2 people suggested Whitey. King Charles. There was a Sue.
I think he's rejecting that one.
He didn't like Sue. Jack Daniels, Jasper. 2 people suggested Domino. Someone said Chad. 2 people suggested Elvis. 1 person suggested Bodacious. Prince Charming. 1 says Handsome. Sammy. Winter. Showstopper. Birch. Like the birch tree because he looks like the bark on the birch tree. That's interesting. Angel. Turk. Mr. Strut. 2 people said Donald. I don't know. Donald Trump.
Or Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. I don't know. Fanfare and this word I don't know. Can you D-R? What is that?
D. Artigenin?
I don't know. Anyway, I gave you the list. You want to look at it? I gave you the list. And out of those, pick one.
I got your fate of your name in my hands, right?
Let's take a good look at him. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of like a blimp or like a balloon, like one of them big balloons on the parade, the Macy's parade. Yeah.
This one's name is Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Yep.
Not Marshmallow Man.
No, because it looks like kind of like he's white and then like the black could be like some debris.
Why didn't you just name him like Elsa?
That's a girl? Maybe that could be that over there. There's. I mean,
isn't that the name of the character on that show, on that cartoon?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
What's it called?
Frozen.
Frozen. Yeah.
Blizzard and Frozen.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. So, is it Blizzard?
It's Blizzard.
Doesn't that remind you of a floating balloon or something? A fan?
Just
a blimp, or there's just the way he floats along there. We have 3 Cayuga duck. We're headed back in. We just named the bird. Greg just named the bird. I have 3 Cayuga duck eggs in the incubator, and tonight we are going to candle them. It'll be a second time to candle. We had 11. Guys, out of 11, only 3 were fertilized. So hopefully they're alive, moving inside the egg and growing. But we're gonna wait till the sun goes down so it's dark, and but it'll be just in a second for you guys. Almost fell. Wait, it's not zooming. Is it moving? Yeah, it's moving.
That one's moving.
Mm-hmm. That one's moving. Get back on this one, because it's moving, just not as much. Okay.